Now, we honor to have one of our friends supporting Iranian people at different events. Mr. Steve Bush, the former candidate from One Nation from Hornsby area. Welcome,
Steve. Ladies and gentlemen, last Sunday I had the solemn privilege of joining an Iranian rally and march at Hyde Park Town Hall, marking the 4th anniversary of the public execution of Mazid Reza Rahnavard back in Mashhad in 2022. A young man whose death became a symbol of the Islamic Republic's brutality toward its own people. I found it deeply confronting to see long lists of people who had been executed and others who were still facing execution. Behind each name was a harrowing story, and behind each story was the senseless destruction of an innocent life. Each was a precious individual, someone's husband or wife, father or mother, son or daughter, brother, sister or friend. Yet we must never confuse this brutal, malicious and misogynistic regime with Iran itself. The regime is not a nation, it is not a civilization. Iran is the heir to one of the world's oldest and richest civilizations, the civilization of Persia, whose contributions to humanity span thousands of years and have shaped cultures, knowledge and achievements of countless societies. Iran is heir to one of the greatest civilizations, Persia, whose achievements in poetry, art, learning, science and statecraft have influenced cultures far beyond its borders. That inheritance endures the works of Hafez, Rumi and Ferdowsi, and in the qualities for which Iranian people are widely admired: hospitality, strong family bonds, a respect for learning, resilience and enterprise. In Australia, Iranian Australians have enriched our national life through their professional, cultural and civic contributions. For these reasons, we must clearly distinguish between a nation and a regime that rules over it. For 47 years since the 1979 revolution, Iran's ruling regime has brought repression at the home front, confrontation abroad and deep instability in its wake. As so often happens, the greatest suffering has fallen not on those in power, but ordinary citizens. The dictatorship of the Islamic Republic has not only repressed its people, it has decimated Iran's cultural life, disrupted generations, forced countless families into exile, and deepened divisions that will take decades to heal. When foreign governments consider agreements with Tehran, they must do so with open eyes. This is not an ordinary government with an ordinary record. It is a regime that has repeatedly turned violence towards its own people. Since 1979, the Iranian regime has repeatedly responded to dissent with brutal repressions, mass execution of political prisoners, lethal force against peaceful protesters, widespread arbitrary executions, arrests, torture, unfair trials, and escalating use of the death penalty. From the 1988 massacres to women, life, freedom movement, and more recent crackdowns, its record reflects a sustained assault on fundamental human rights. Any engagement with the Islamic Republic must be judged against its long record of repression, violence and broken commitments. Reports of a possible memorandum of understanding between Washington and Tehran to pursue accommodation should be approached with particular caution. If the regime concludes that it can withstand military pressures, retain much of its strategic capability, and still secure diplomatic concessions, then those incentives for meaningful change is lost. Deterrence is the strongest when the adversaries understand that aggression carries consequence. The international community should place the people of Iran at the centre of its policy, supporting their rights, their aspirations for freedom and their right to determine their own political future. The ruling elite must not be treated as the authentic voice of the nation it governs through intimidation, coercion and force. For decades, governments have pursued negotiation, accommodation, sanctions and diplomatic pressure, yet the regime's essential character has remained unchanged, oppressive at home, destabilising abroad. The time has come to move beyond policies that merely manage the Islamic Republic and instead support a peaceful transition in which the Iranian people can reclaim their country. As Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi has consistently argued, Iran's future must be decided by Iranians themselves through a free and democratic process after the machinery of repression has been dismantled. The objective is neither chaos nor foreign control, but a sovereign, peaceful and free Iran, and accountability under law for those responsible for murder, torture, repression and other grave crimes. For that reason, I stand with you here in support of a policy that stands firmly with the Iranian people in their struggle to reclaim their country and restore Iran to the peace, freedom and dignity it deserves. Jai Shah.
Jai Shah.